What's up, YouTube? We're back with another episode of What the Hell Am I Doing? Today, I've got a really interesting place for you guys. I was out with Ethan exploring, and we found this place kind of in the middle of the nowhere. It was built back in 1967. It looks like it's been abandoned now for many years. The place I'm talking about is this absolutely incredible home here behind me. I think this one's gonna be absolutely mind-blowing. So why don't we take a walk around the property or see what we can, because it looks like it's fairly overgrown, and then let's get inside, see what happened to this place. All right, guys, we're going to start today's adventure just outside the front of the house here on the driveway. We're going to try to take a walk around the property. It's pretty heavily overgrown, as you can see. We're going to try to do what we can, but if we can't, we'll get inside this place and we'll try to take a look outside for any openings that we can find. Like I mentioned in the introduction, this incredible looking home was built way back in 1967. And it's been sitting here abandoned now for anywhere from about 5 to 7 years from the way things look. It's an absolutely unique looking home. It's got some incredible wood paneling work on the outside. You've got an incredible stone chimney over there. I don't know if you can see it too well, but it's just peeking over the corner there. And I think this one's gonna have some really interesting features. It kind of stood out to us from a distance away. We just had to come check it out. So why don't we start working our way towards this one, see if there's any way to get around back. Like, look how heavily overgrown this is, guys. Like, I'm not kidding. This might be the hardest place I've ever seen to try to show you guys around back. Well, there is a little pathway here. So we'll go this way and see where it brings us. And you can see this little stone walkway going around. Oh, there's a stone walkway going around back. But you can see it's heavily overgrown. You got another look at that chimney there. Just kind of poking out through the brush. Look at the peaceful view behind this home. All this land that this home is part of was purchased by developers. And there are plans to have over 400 new homes built in this area, which is absolutely insane. Got a light post there, hidden in the trees. As you turn around, they got a big garage door here, but I can almost guarantee you guys that's locked. We'll try to lift it. Oh yeah, see, it only goes a bit and then it won't go. And you can see they had intercoms outside. Very common feature on a nice home. So I'm assuming the people who lived here at one point in time had some money. That woodwork is really cool. One of the good things about a place like this is that the drone footage that I put in the sequence just before this walk around really kind of gives you a good idea of what the property looks like. Because like I said, you know, like we're not going to be able to track through this. There's ticks and everything out there today. I don't really want to get ticks. That's a really cool looking light. Very 60s looking light. And as you pan over here, some incredible stonework on the outside with more woodwork at the top. Of course, you have these stone stairs going up, so we'll continue this way. But yeah, this is why I like doing the drone footage. Because a place like this where it's really hard to get around, I'm able to show you guys the place and the property from the sky. So I hope you guys appreciate that. It certainly adds to the video in my opinion. So this looks like this is the way in. Well, there used to be a camera system here at one time. Probably no longer active now. You can see some incredible stonework. Got some really retro lighting there. You got an open door right here. So why don't we just work our way right in right now and start this explore from inside. Turn the light on. All right, we're now inside. We're gonna do this one a little differently than usual. Since we kind of walked right in, we'll just start this video from here now. So this is what it looks like inside the foyer when you come inside. It's absolutely incredible. You got a nice pine ceiling that's varnished and stained, which is beautiful. You also got some really nice pine woodwork above the door. And as I pan down, it's kind of a very commercial looking entranceway. Look at that door. It kind of makes me wonder if this was used like a sales office, or if maybe this house had like some secondary purpose towards the end. That's a very interesting light. I bet you that's original to when they built this place. That's a very cool hallway. We'll go down that in a moment. But yeah, as we turn around, you got a nice double window looking out at the very overgrown yard. Just to show you guys real quick, it's heavily overgrown out there. It would have been nightmarish trying to get around the back. And if we go this way, I presume this is going to take us to the garage that we were just looking at. You can see all the drywall's been stripped here. The wood panel ceiling is really nice. I know Jamie's going to like that a lot. Okay, let's go down this way. Yeah, see, look at this. You got signs of rotten wood. This place has been in trouble for quite some time. That doesn't just happen in a couple of years. As we go this way, oh yeah, this is definitely the garage. There you can see the old garage door through the hole in the wall there. And there's some light coming from below the door where we were trying to lift it earlier. But as you turn around, you can see this was kind of converted into a storage space. You got an office desk in here, which is kind of interesting. Let's see if anything gives any secrets away. Look at the power to this house. Whoa. That also looks very commercial too, doesn't it? It's very old school. A lot of this is very old. They must have had some extra buildings, like outbuildings, or some serious lighting or something going on here, because that's a lot of power boxes. But yeah, it looks like this garage was eventually converted into something for storage. I mean, you can see the wood paneling going around the back wall here is original when they built the place. That's definitely 60s wood paneling. And they've got a heater in here, so it was a heated garage at one point. Oh yeah, the ceiling's in rough shape there. Beautiful though, look at that. This is the garage, guys. And they've got like cedar, I think this is cedar or pine. It's kind of hard to tell. But even the beams look like they're cedar. Really, really cool. Never seen a garage like this before. It's a shame that it had to end up abandoned. Like even the handles, the door locks, like those are pretty heavy duty, but they're also quite old school looking. And as you turn around, this takes us back inside the house. So we're going to go up these stairs now. And we're going to end up back in the foyer of the house where we came in. Look at that Chromalox wall heater unit. Pretty fancy. Also a sign that people who had this replaced back in the 60s had money. Wall heater units were never really in the cheaper homes. So going down this hallway is quite an interesting experience. You can see they covered it up with the T-bar drop ceiling at some point. You can see the original wood ceiling was up there. So this was either a renovation that was done for some odd reason that covered up the ceiling, or this place probably was commercialized at one point. Look at this incredible hallway window. Runs the entire length of this hallway, well, this section of the hallway. And you can see that brickwork or the stonework inside actually is continuous to outside. But yeah, look how heavily overgrown that is. I see there's a door there and there's a little pathway, so maybe we'll be able to get out there. We'll take a look in a minute. Let's go this way. So you can see a lot of these lights and the ceiling has just been pulled down. It's laying on the floor here. If we go this way, you We got a big desk in the corner. Yeah, I don't know if this was somebody's workspace or if this was, for the home. It's kind of strange. It's kind of commercial looking, but oh wow. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely starting to think they were operating a business out of here in the end. Look at these two safes. That's pretty incredible. And I'm betting this was like it says main server. So this was probably like a server room at one point. And yeah, look at that. You've got all the network connections and all that in here. Yeah, so this was definitely converted into some kind of business at some point, I would say. Which is interesting. I mean, that kind of network setup would be cool in any kind of home. So if we come this way, we now pop out where we got a couple directions to go. We got a door there, a hallway there. If we turn to our immediate right, we've got the kitchen in front of us. And the kitchen's actually where we would have ended up if we took the first right-hand turn too. So we'll take a quick look through here first. You can see this is a bit of a newer kitchen. It looks like an early 90s kitchen just from the color of the cabinet doors. And you can even see from the hinges they used. Those are more like 90s, 2000s kind of hinges. So right now, just from looking at the color of these cabinets and the granite that's on top, I'm almost willing to label these cabinets as something from around 1993 to 1998. That's what they look like to me. As you turn around here, they have an incredible intercom system. This thing would have been state-of-the-art when it came out. This is probably from around 88, 89. Actually has a built-in CD player in it, and I bet you that thing had no skip control. I bet you when people danced on the floor in front of this, I bet you it skipped. But that's pretty insane to see that. And that would have been a very expensive unit back in the day. And of course, you've got the original thermostat still in the home. Another interesting thing of note that may not show up in the video, it seems to have like wool or silk wallpaper. Looks like wool to me. That would have been very common in the 80s too. Of course here, we got to walk out to the deck, but we'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's go into this kitchen more. So as we work our way into this kitchen, yeah, this is definitely the most modern thing that's probably been done to this house. As you look around, everything in this kitchen's fairly new. All the cabinetry, like I said, looks like mid-90s. The knob goblin hasn't been here. All the cabinets still have the handles. Of course, if you open these up, they're the double-sided cabinets, which is cool. So the cups and plates could be accessed from either side. Looks like over here they had a little wine rack. I also like the vanity, or not a vanity, but I like how they have the 3 pot lights above the window here. Of course, this window looks out at this incredibly huge backyard of theirs. It's incredibly overgrown, so it's kind of a different kind of an incredible view now. But back in the day, this would have been a very nice view, and you would have had a much cleaner view of the yard. Of course, got to note, you've got the nice sink in front of the window. It's a beautiful double sink. It's got some nice, more modern hardware there. Of course, like I mentioned already, you got the beautiful granite countertops. And you know what? The window and the sink are actually aligned properly. The sink is centered perfectly on the window. So I turn around, you got the washer rack there from the washing machine or dishwasher. That's a Miele, I think that's how you say it. Those are very expensive, very high end. As is this cooktop here. I've actually never seen a cooktop by them before, but that's pretty cool. And it even has a little range hood, or no, it's not a range. Oh, it is. It's a range hood and a light. That's pretty neat. And all that's probably controlled from down there. Yeah, all these cupboards are going to be clean. Everything's going to be emptied out. Yeah. This place has been empty for years, so I don't expect much to be left behind, unfortunately. So as we turn around here, oh, this is the fridge. This is something, another feature a lot of fancy homes would have done. Have the fridge blend in with the cabinets. Because, you know, fridges are ugly. And this is a Sub-Zero. This is a high-end fridge. So if we open this up, it's not too gross. It's clean, which is nice. There's probably a date or a serial number somewhere. If I remember correctly, we've seen that before. April 94. Wow. That's crazy. So this is 31 years old, this fridge. It's from the same month that we lost Kurt Cobain, if you can believe that. If you don't know who that is, look him up. But yeah, this would tell me right there that the fridge and this entire kitchen renovation most likely happened in 1994, and that would make sense based on what I just told you both the color of the cabinets and the hinges and everything else. Another thing I got to point out here, because so far we've only seen carpet on the floors, the kitchen has the original hardwood flooring, which is quite nice. It's nice to see that. And as we turn this way, oh, we got a nice little wall oven here. So this is probably original to the house too. Yeah, it's a Miele 2 actually, but that looks like an older unit. You've got a Quasar microwave, which looks like it's from the 70s. Just look at that wood paneling around the controls there. And of course, you have a top shelf for storage there where I've decided to put my bag because it's so hot today. So this here is the door we saw from the hallway. Oh, it's not going to open. It's bolted shut. So we're not going to be able to get out that way either. Crazy. And just to kind of show you guys where we are, if we come back this way, that is the hallway to the front door where we came in the house. And that's the desk we walked by earlier. Let's go back this way. I see there's a deck here. I don't know if I'm going to risk going out on it because it looks really rough. But we'll go outside for a second. Oh, that breeze feels good, guys. But yeah, this deck, it's in terrible shape. Look at the panel. Like, the planks are falling through. You can see, though, the incredible brickwork continues out here. That's the chimney going up. That's the chimney we could see poking out from the bushes when we were doing our walk around at the start. I don't know if we should try this or not. I'm really nervous walking on this. It's really rotten looking, so I'm going to try to stay on the joists. Wow. So there's another entrance to the house there. This is crazy, guys. I'm really nervous. This thing is really rough. Okay, and the deck just goes to there. It's actually not so rough here, so we'll kind of go along the inside here. It's a huge deck. It's incredible. This also gives you a chance to see the yard and how overgrown it is. Wow. Oh, look at that. There's a little walkway that goes down. Should we check it out? Sure, why not? We will. But yeah, look at the yard. It's completely overgrown. Obviously, they had some nice planters going along the railing here. Like, this deck would have been a really cool hangout spot to spend your mornings, your evenings, having coffee, drinking beers with your friends, whatever you do. I can feel the planks like bowing beneath my feet. So as we come down here, we're now in a different section of the house. Again, the incredible woodwork continues. Just look at that. I like how they did those designs with the trim. Got a nice window up there. Of course, as we look through here, we got a boarded up sliding door that's been broken into. And I can see that we've got a pool room in there. So that's going to be cool to see when we finish that part of the house. As we go out this way, I guess this would take you back and around the house. But like I said, guys, this is crazy. I'm not going to walk through this. This is absolutely insane. It's really heavily overgrown, but at least we got to see a good chunk of the walk around, I guess, even if we did it in a little bit of a different fashion than normal. So why don't we work our way back up this way now and try to get back to the house safely. And I mean that seriously, though, because these planks are really rough. This is crazy. I thought this might be a sliding door, but it is not. It's just a huge window looking outside. That's incredible. And of course, those are pretty vintage lights. So they even have outdoor speakers. This intercom went everywhere. This place would have been great for parties back in the day. Would have been way ahead of its time. All right, so we're gonna walk on these planks and get back in the house. All right, there we go. Ooh, so I almost went through the step. All right, we're back in the house. So why don't we go down to this room first? You can see the subflooring's been, well, the flooring's been removed. Looks like at one point in time they had something glued to the floor. You can see the glue is remaining. Oh, that's probably this stuff right here. That was probably on the floor. But you can see this room at one point in time was a massive entertainment space. Very huge. These 60s looking windows are really unique now, but I really like them. It's too bad that someone broke this one over here. And of course, that's that huge window we just walked by on the deck. And that there is the door that we could have gone out on the deck, I guess, from. But as I get closer, I see there's a bolt, so no, we couldn't have. So this is a very interesting space. Again, you can see they have the drop ceiling, the suspended tile ceiling. This is something they've done more recently. Whether or not people lived here with this like this is the question now I have, because this could have been when it was used for commercial purposes. But you can see the ceiling is absolutely beautiful again. Beautiful pine ceiling. You've got beautiful wood beams, just like the other area we saw that, the garage, I think it was. It's pretty impressive. It's kind of a shame that they would cover that up. And this is a neat little spot here. I'm assuming this could have been the hangout or the TV area at one point in time. It's a sunken in area. You can see there's still original hardwood flooring in there. They also had that covered up at one point. But yeah, they could have had a TV or electric fireplace there, and this could have been like a warm little cozy spot to hang out. Neat little room. Of course, you got the intercom there. That is a very 1980s looking intercom. I had the exact same ones in my house that was built in '88. So it's kind of a flashback every time I see those. So we go back this way, and yeah, I see the flooring here has all been covered with carpet for the most part. You come back out here. Even this ceiling, they've added suspended drop tile, so drop ceiling, whatever it is. I don't know what it's called. I call it something different every time. But you can see one of the original lamps for the hallway would have been there before they made all these changes. Now this is where this place gets interesting. We've got this interesting little stairwell here, and you've got the stairs going upstairs, as well as downstairs to the pool room. Now we saw that pool room in our walk around. I think we're gonna save the best for last. So we'll go there after we do upstairs. You can see those, some interesting woodwork here in the hallway. And look at that old retro wallpaper. Like that wallpaper screams 1960s, doesn't it? Oh, look at that, even in here, the ceiling. Absolutely amazing. You got a nice pine ceiling. You've got the beams again. And as you pan down, you've got the incredible wall sconce coming down to this really retro stairwell that goes upstairs. So why don't we work our way up? This one actually goes both ways. So why don't we go left first? Show you guys that wall sconce a little better. It's supposed to look like it's got candles on it. Again, the wallpaper is just everywhere. So let's take these stairs up. Even the railings, these are original to the house. It's interesting you see that stuff below the stairs. I'm wondering, well, maybe they used to be open and they covered them up. That may have been the case. As you come up here, you've got the linen closet in the hallway, which is empty except for the liners and those incredible old knobs. And if you turn around, that's the view looking to the room across, which we'll go to next. But just look at this. There's been some destruction in this room. This room also looks like it's been renovated more recently, probably when they did the kitchens. I mean, look at the wallpaper. That wallpaper looks like early 90s wallpaper. You can see they classed it up. They put crown molding around the room. And this place had a valance in front of the window to hide the curtain. And what's cool about that is the valance actually is made up of the crown molding. So that's a nice touch. Of course, as you look this way, they've got the his and her closet in the wall, and they've got the built-in dresser as well. That's really neat. I've seen dressers before, but I've never seen one that's actually built into the wall like that. That's really neat. Of course, I'm sure it's empty. Yeah, oh, actually, that's a TV cabinet. Yeah, is it? No, it's not. This is a dresser. It's a dresser. Sorry, guys. It's a dresser. I was starting to think too much 80s stuff. But yeah, look at these closets. These are probably a little bit more modern. They have the cubby system built in. And of course, all these windows here are much newer. Of course, there's that incredible fireplace again that we keep looking at. We've seen this now from a few different angles. Absolutely beautiful. But you can see there's a lot of destruction in here. You can also see the insulation is foam. It's not R12 or R34 or whatever fiberglass insulation. This is just styrofoam insulation, showing you again how old this house is. That's an exterior wall, and it's mostly foam. Of course, if they peeled up some of the carpet here, look at that. You have the original floors in here. Actually, no, that's not original flooring. I thought that was tile. It's the underpad, so never mind. Got a little excited for nothing. Over here, we have an ensuite. You can see they had this boarded up too, but the board has been come down since. And this is the view out on the rooftop. And you can see that looks out at the garage there. Heavily overgrown, eh? As you look in here, I would say some of this tile work has also been done in the 90s. This tile looks a lot more modern than something you would have seen from the 60s or 70s. And at some point they obviously had a jacuzzi or some kind of a tub here, but it's obviously gone. They have brass handles, brass towel racks. Those would probably be more of an 80s thing. Yeah, this bathroom kind of has been gutted, unfortunately. You can see the crown molding theme continued in here, which is really cool. It's a really nice crown molding. It's definitely newer than the house was built. This is something they probably did in the 90s for sure. And again, the wallpaper in here is very 90s looking, like we just saw in the room outside of this. And these obviously are very modern looking lights. Looking over here, that's an interesting toilet. The brown bomber might have been there because it looks like there's some leftovers. And look at that toilet paper holder. That thing is super retro. But you know what really gets me about this bathroom is I believe the cabinetry in the vanity here, I believe this still is original to when they built the house. Actually, I could tell you. No, it's not. It's newer. They got newer hinges. This is like 80s or 90s stuff. Is this granite? Yes, it is. Yeah, so this is probably like mid-90s, just like what I'm thinking the rest of the room is. Those faucets, those don't look like 90s faucets, so they probably saved those from when the house was built. I'm sure Tommy or John will tell me in the comments, but something about those faucets looks very retro to me. All right, so let's turn around, work our way to the other room across the hall. It's kind of surprising. This house is quite large looking, but it looks like there's only 2 bedrooms. All right, so we'll go down these stairs. And we'll go up these stairs. And this takes us to another bedroom. And again, look at this. Beautiful pine ceiling. Beautiful wood beams. Very classy, very elegant. Gotta love it. You got some very retro looking curtains in here. I would say these are looking like 80s curtains to me. Got baseboard heat in here. What's really cool, look at these shutters. They have shutters for privacy. And these shutters basically control, well, these ones are broken. But these shutters basically control, obviously, if you have privacy in the room from the stairs, but also how much light gets out of the room to the hallway. So that's quite neat too. This window's broken, so I'll show you the rooftop here. See, it's a flat roof. And again, we get one more look at that incredible stone chimney. And again, more incredible woodwork there. The place is wild. I've never seen anything like this before. As we go this way, looks like we have an alarm panel on the wall. Yeah. So this might have been one of the master bedroom. This could have been the master bedroom. You got a very vintage looking thermostat. And this is quite interesting. I mean, the shuttered closets are not unusual to see. I mean, those are very common in 60s and 70s homes. I love pointing out the shuttered closet doors. I think they're beautiful. And these ones are no exception. They're very nice. They got the nice knobs. And the closets themselves are fairly ordinary. You know, lots of hanging space, some top shelf space, and that's about it. And yeah, these are interconnected, so both closets are joined together, even though they got the double doors, double sets of double doors. And what's neat is this huge thing here behind me is also like a dresser. So I'm assuming these pulled out. Yeah, that's cool. And look at the knobs. Those are neat too. So they had lots of storage space in this room. This could have been his and hers. Could have been just his. You never know. But that's quite neat. I've never seen a setup like that before. It kind of takes some of the room up, which I don't like. But it's unusual, so I like that. Here, that's a solid door. Oh, wow. We got another bathroom. Yeah, so this might have been the master bedroom after all. Those are pretty ancient looking cupboards. Let's see. Yeah, see, those are old hinges. These are original to when they built the house. I really like the tile countertop. That's pretty cool. Even a little backsplashes tile. And you look around, you've got like this hotel type wallpaper that looks like the rest of the room. They even did the ceiling, which is kind of wild. But you can see people were digging in the walls for something, looking for treasure or gold or copper. Look at that old American standard faucet. That's a pretty cool one. I've never seen that before. That's a pretty thick sink. You turn around over here and look at this. You got a lowrider toilet. This thing I think is a pretty old toilet. I could be wrong, but it looks like a 60s or 70s toilet. I'm sure Tommy or John's correcting me right now if I'm wrong. But that thing is really low and that would suck to get down on. Look at the tile work here. So you got the shower here. Looks like it's a bit more of a modern door. This looks like an 80s or a 90s job. They could have done these renovations at the same time as the kitchen and the other bathroom from the looks of things. Because this tile work is definitely newer. That's definitely a newer light. There's no hardware in here to tell you how old that might be. Well, actually it is. It's right there. See, that looks old, that head, the shower head. But I bet you the tile work in here is newer. And then over here you have the tub. Whoa, this is a very unusual tub. Again, the hardware's been taken out of the wall. But I've never seen a tub like this. Like they literally, it's a step down tub. Like you step down into this. And there's not a tub that they placed in the house. This is like an area they waterproofed and tiled. And it's like a tub that is entirely man-made by the construction workers. It's really deep. Really deep. I really like that. That would have been a great tub to use. I don't like using bathtubs, but that's one I would have used. All right, so now let's work our way down to the pool room because I think that's all that's left. The stairs, looks like the carpet might be original. It's a pretty interesting color. You go this way, it looks like they had a shelving unit or something in the wall. Oh, that's another cool wall sconce there. Again, that's another large window. Lots of windows in this place. Letting in lots of light. Look at this pool room. Wow. And these are the stairs going down to it. Oh, look at that. The stairs actually go down one more level. You know what? Let's save the best for last. Let's check out the basement first. Wow. So down here is in rough shape. Oh, it feels so cool down here. You can actually see the condensation running down the walls. That drywall up there says 1944 on it. That's interesting because most likely in the 40s they wouldn't have used drywall. So you turn around and these are the stairs going up. I like how they're open. I like how you can see the rails running beneath them. And down here is like a little storage area. This is kind of cool. So they have some cupboards down here. And I guess they just kind of left like things, look, you can even see imprints like chairs or something were on the floor. They probably just left stuff there forever for when guests came over and that was about it. Again, that wallpaper continues the theme. It looks like Roman wallpaper almost. Actually, no, it's not Roman. I don't know what that is. It looks Japanese actually. You come in here and we got two directions to go. So let's go this way first. Oh, look at this. We got like an 80s bathroom here. That wallpaper screams 80s. Even the ceiling's wallpapered. Wow. Very 80s looking bathroom. Interesting tile work on the floors. I like that. Oh, look at that. That is not an 80s looking sink. That is like a 60s sink. That's like a teal green or a mint green sink. That's really cool. So is that. That's also a toilet that's original to when they built this place. So none of these rooms were really an addition to the house or any changes. It looks like these rooms were all here from the very beginning. It's just some of them might have been modernized while others didn't. But that's crazy. The wallpaper, that is so 80s looking, it's ridiculous. And you can see there's just the floor and the foundation there. So there's not a whole lot to see. Come over here. That's the door we just came in. This is the shower. Yeah, this is looking like a 60s shower. Look at that tile color, even the floor tiles. Very 60s looking. The light looks a little newer. as does the shower faucet, but that hardware doesn't look new. That's pretty neat. So this place had an abundance of bathrooms and showers, which is kind of cool. And then we got another room here. I don't know if this is a bedroom. It's got a drain in the floor. Oh, look, they have a safe down here too. That's very interesting. Wonder if there's anything left in them. That would be the interesting thing to know. So we go this way, and yeah, okay, so this is just a little tiny room. This to me could have been a cold room. Looks like they just put a dresser, this is a very cheaply made, maybe a man-made, homemade one. This is like just a little armoire or closet to put your jackets in. They probably just store them down here along with their money. All right, so let's go back this way. Check out the other part of the basement here. Come back out here. This is the stairs we just came down. So if we continue straight, looks like we have like a mechanical room. Yeah, we got more electrical panels. This is actually circuit breakers. That's an alarm panel. Even got like a heater in here, I think. Very interesting. But yeah, look, you got the water treatment. So they obviously had well water here, hard water that had to be treated. As you back out, so I'm getting caught on wires. Yeah, see there's more treatment stuff there. Very interesting. So we turn around, and this is, I guess, the main area of the basement. There's not a lot of basement in this house. And again, like upstairs, it's kind of in disarray. They did not hang a suspended ceiling in here, so everything on the floor was probably on the ceiling from day one. And now it's either come down due to decay or scrappers or whatever coming here. You got another sliding door going outside. That's an incredible view. Backyard, just absolutely massive. Nice little patio space here. Unfortunately, they've tied it shut, so we're not going to be able to get out. You can see that's an old water heater. Very old. It's probably been sitting here for 20 years. But yeah, this is a great space. It's a nice big room. You can see the curtains are a little bit newer. These look like 80s or 90s curtains. But if you look around the floor, the carpeting, all that's original. The baseboard heaters. This accent wall is probably the only thing that's really been done in the last 20 years. I bet you someone painted this wall within the last 20 years. And if you look this way, that's an incredible bookshelf. Oh, look at this. We've got a massive gun safe. I didn't even notice that. Wow. Somebody's tried to get into that thing, but they didn't. They did not succeed, unfortunately. Well, probably fortunately, actually. We don't need those to get out on the streets. But I'm not going to lie, I'm curious if there's anything in there, guys. That would be interesting to know. Of course, there, oh look, the back is solid too, just to show you. This thing is not open. But you got the intercom there. So somebody obviously tore this stuff down, probably looking for, useful wiring to steel or copper. It's a great big space. And like I was just about to point out, look at these cool shelving units. I'm assuming it's supposed to look like cherry wood. I don't know if it's real. I don't think it is. It looks like it's laminated to me. These things look like they would have been done late 80s, early 90s as well. Probably the same time they did the kitchen and those bathroom renovations from what I presume. Probably all these changes happened around then. So about 31 years ago, they probably did all this stuff, and this house has been mostly the same since. But you can see they had lots of shelving here at one point in time. So they could have had, an entertainment set up there. They could have had like a stereo system, records. They could have had books. They could have had a ton of stuff. And what's interesting is this double door, which you would think leads you to an office, actually brings you into a prison cell. It's a cinder block room. The wall heater's been taken out. That's what that is there. And there's the face of it. Again, it's original when they built the place. What this actually is a laundry room. And I know this because they have this incredible sink. It almost looks like a giant urinal, which is pretty neat. And you got your water controls there. But you have your, you got your big plug there, the high voltage plug. So that would have been for a dryer to be hooked up. And that probably was used as a chimney clean out. Huh. As I'm saying this, the only problem, guys, is that I don't see where the ventilation would have went. So that's a little strange. Maybe this was not a laundry room. Or maybe it was and it just had, maybe they had an oven down here. I don't know. Doesn't make sense. Maybe this was just like a utility space. You guys can offer your theories on this because there's not enough in there to make it a laundry room, in my opinion. And I'm sure that that water heater, actually it wasn't in there either. It was probably in this room here. Huh. Yeah, you guys tell me, what do you think that room was used for? I'm actually not sure. I thought it was a laundry room, but I don't think so. Maybe it was a small kitchen for the basement. All right, so that means we got one more room left, which is the best room here. It's the pool room. So let's take a look at this. You can see a bird's trapped in here, unfortunately. Oh no, I can get out. The door's open. This is an incredible space. It's kind of eerie. It's kind of quiet. It's got an amazing skylight ceiling. It's a pretty deep pool. Beautiful. You can see they had beautiful cedar woodwork going around the ceiling, on the ceiling and the walls, I should say. The ceiling is cedar. Or maybe it's pine, I don't know. Jamie, tell me. But you can see the incredible wood beam theme again continues in this room. They have heaters in here so they can be used year round. Just a beautiful space. All the tiling, everything looks like this is original to when they built the house. This to me looks cedar, but I think the ceiling might be pine. Yeah, because the pine looks really yellow over there. So I think the walls are cedar and the ceiling is pine. God, if I lived here, I'd be in this pool every day, especially today. It's so hot today. This is where I would be. Of course, that's the look down. It's a pretty deep pool, especially in the middle area. Of course, you look this way, you got the door going back to where we were. You got the window looking into the kitchen, which is quite neat. You can see right to the kitchen from here, so certain areas of the kitchen would see into here. And of course, these windows here are shuttered, but they got a view of outside. And I know this because, well, here's the broken sliding door we saw earlier when we did our walk around. Just an incredible space. Look at the ceiling. Look at those beautiful skylights. Of course, they've been absolutely destroyed by vandalism. They put mirrors up so the reflections reflect in the mirrors. It's very well done. Very neat. Of course, you go over here, and this is the shortest end of the room, but we'll show you the pool from all angles because this is obviously the highlight of the house now. Just incredible. It's too bad that it's been ruined. Got to show you guys this. Little message for all of us. Really cool. Yeah, this is a great space. This would have been my spot. Other than smoking cigars on that balcony out front there or at the side, I would have been in here all the time, year round, getting my relaxation on. Looks like there's 2 small rooms here, and then we're going to wrap this one up. These are probably dressing rooms. Looks like they are, yeah. So here we have dressing room A. Nice tile floor, you got a wood bench. And of course a ladder if you want to climb up into the ceiling. I don't think there's anything else in here if I turn around. Oh, they got shelving. It's a little bit of storage. And of course, you come out here and you got some really old school looking switches for the lights. You got the intercom. Old thermostats. Of course, here is dressing room B. And this one does not have the cubbies in the wall. I'll show you that in a second. You got the mirror there, but no cubbies here. And on that note, guys, we've now covered the entire house. This was an absolutely incredible one. I hope you guys enjoyed doing this. If you did, please make sure you hit that like button. Share the video out. Of course, leave a comment afterwards. Tell me about something you saw or something I got wrong. All right, guys. That's all the time we have for today's adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed coming on this one with me. This was an absolutely mind-blowing home built way back in 1967. Now, unfortunately, it's been sitting abandoned for about 5 or 10 years and has fallen into this state, which is a real shame to see. This home had some incredible features, like that incredible walkout deck that we saw, and this massive pool room with the incredible skylight above. If you guys enjoyed coming on this adventure, please make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment afterwards, and of course, share the video out to help the channel and the video grow. Well, that's all the time we have for today's adventure. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button over there if you haven't already. Check out last week's video. Check out the random video up there, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.